Hey guys, this is Robin. You're listening to me reading stuff. You're listening today because you're kind, because you're curious, because you want to use your words in engaging ways, because you love others, because you're funny and wild in your own special way. You're fantastic, plain and simple. You love drinking plenty of water. You love fruit. You love taking deep breaths. You believe in yourself. You've planned to be more honest with yourself and others. You're a hero. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Speaking of icebergs, I'm on location on Me Reading Stuff today, this Thursday, May 5th, but I am not going to tell you where I am. It's not on an iceberg. So I don't know why that was my transition. It's just a regular old American place. But I'm on the run. I'm healing someplace other than my own home. Even though my own home is incredibly comforting, you can't just be comforted in one way, in one place. You got to move on, people. You got to go away. Get out of your routine. Get out from the ties that bind. Take care of your heart and your brain with what? I can't think of what to say there. With a different backdrop. Wow. I don't know where all this is coming from. I am extremely verbal this week. I just want to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And I am in monastic. That sounds, I don't know what it sounds like. Monastic May, which for those of you just tuning in, I have been very overwhelmed with things, with people, with communication. So Monastic May is me taking care of myself, claiming some space, not texting as much, definitely not being on social media, not doing any of the typical, like, I don't even want to go to lunch right now. I just want to stay home. I want to draw. I want to read. I want to write. I want to be quiet. So quiet. So speaking of quiet, as I continuously talk and list things and tell you guys stories, really, I want to be here for you in order to share with you great poetry and literature. And I'm going to start reading right now because I love you. And we read to only the ones we love. Isn't that right? Today I'm going to be reading you Marianne Moore, American poet. By the way, you know what? Let me go backwards. I am sorry. I'm in a weird mood right now. I feel it. I think it's because I'm not at home. I'm talking to you in a different situation. I don't know if I'm coming off weird. I just want to apologize right now. I'm full of love right now. I'm telling you. Having a little break from regular life has been very, very good to me. I feel gentler. I feel like I've got more time between when I react to things, if that makes sense. If something happens that would normally upset me, I kind of have this space that I normally don't have. I'm not very volatile. I'm just kind of, I mean, it's weird. It's always weird for me to feel kind of, I guess what I'm saying is I'm calm. It's hard for me to even admit that because it really is a pretty foreign concept to me. So I think I'm adjusting to feeling calm right now. I think that's what's going on. Anyway, back to Marianne Moore, American poet, critic, translator, editor. Born in Missouri in 1887, she died happily at the age of 84 in New York City. You know, I just made up the happily part. That was just hopeful thinking. I'm not sure that she was happy when she died. Let's just go with it. That is we're rewriting Jesus. You know, I've known about Marianne Moore forever, and yet for whatever reason didn't give her work a whole lot of time. But my friend Xavier gifted me the new publication of her book Observations. It was her second book to ever come out. It came out in 1924. And I've been giving it a lot of time. And honestly, upon first read, I really was engaged with a couple of the poems, but I wasn't overly excited. Second read, third read of the ones that I highlighted and stuff, I'm kind of astounded that these are as contemporary as they are. They're strange, and they're definitely going to be up your alley if you're into any of the imagists. And by the way, in the description of this podcast, I will, as always, put a link to where you can find this book. I'm really glad this book made it into my hands because I think I needed to be schooled by Marianne Moore, and that is what's happened. So I love the titles of so many of these poems. This one is called "To Be Liked by You Would Be a Calamity." Attack is more piquant than concord. But when you tell me frankly that you would like to feel my flesh beneath your feet, I'm all abroad. I can but put my weapon up and bow you out. Gesticulation, it is half the language. Let unsheathed gesticulation be the steel your courtesy must meet, since in your hearing words are mute, which to my senses are a shout. I think one of her most famous poems is called Poetry, and there's two versions of it. I think she was very controlling of what came out in the early days of her career. And then I think this book is highlighting what the original poems, the full poems. I don't know how to describe this. Did I already say to you guys that her first book of poems was put out by H.D. and another poet, I can't remember right now, before she wanted any of her poems to be published. And so there's this time period of several different edits and all this stuff going on with her poems. But let me read you the short version of Poetry. This is from 1925. I, too, dislike it. There are things that are important beyond all this fiddle. The bat upside down, the elephant pushing, a tireless wolf under a tree, the baseball fan, the statistician, business documents, and school books. These phenomena are pleasing, but when they have been fashioned into that which is unknowable, we are not entertained. It may be said of all of us that we do not admire what we cannot understand. Enigmas are not poetry. So there you go. I had another one. I love this title. I don't understand the poem exactly. Let me go ahead and read this to you, and maybe if you guys communicate amongst yourselves or, again, shout it out in the air, and I may hear it since I'm not on Instagram or Twitter right now. Nothing will cure the sick lion but to eat an ape. I mean, I don't even care what the poem says. That title alone is enough for me, but here's the poem. Perceiving that in the masked ball attitude there is a hollowness that beauty's light momentum can't redeem, since disproportionate satisfaction anywhere lacks a proportionate air. He let us know without offense by his hand's denunciatory upheaval that he despised the fashion of curing us with an ape, making it his care to smother us with fresh air. I mean, of course, I understand parts of this. I think I'm missing something big, though. So anyway, go ahead and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. I'll be back there in June. My handle is ROBYN_ONEIL. I hope you're all doing well. I think about you all the time. I miss communicating with those of you that communicate about the poems. I've gotten a lot of emails where people are also kind of taking a break after hearing me do it. So that makes me happy. I got to tell you, it feels good. The channels of my brain are going elsewhere rather than, I mean, even like a quick tweet or an Instagram post, that takes a bit of energy and thought if you're hopefully, and even a tiny bit put out there. I like saving this up. Anyway, I've been writing a lot more than I had been in the last several months. And that feels really good. Obviously, I've been drawing a lot. I have several shows coming up this fall and winter. So I've just been busy. And I hope you're all feeling energized and inspired. And I hope a little bit of calm, you know? I'm still weird. I used to not want to feel calm. That's how much I was... well, ill, probably. Anyway, you guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for listening to me reading stuff. Go ahead and subscribe on iTunes if you haven't already. And leave comments on Podomatic or on iTunes, along with a review. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love being calm. I'm going to try to keep convincing myself of that. Keep dying. Keep writing it down. That's a quote from C.K. Williams. We love him. We miss him. Goodbye, everybody.